Alrighty, boys. Let's see who needs to get absolutely dialed. Freaking lean. Shredded. Jacked. That sweet spot. That sweet spot is gonna be it's gonna be like that 10 to 12% body fat. That's that sweet spot. 10 to 12% body fat. Ooh. That's when people are like, "Damn, bro. You got a six pack?" That's when you get absolutely shredded. That's when you get the abs popping out. You got to be 10, 12% body fat. Some dudes, I mean this guy here, right? According to this, he's 15 and he already has visible abs. So, if you have better genetics, then you're probably going to see your abs earlier. But if you have L genetics, then it's going to take more extra work, right? You're going to have to really go harder to lose. Why does 15% look the best? Bro, he's just got the best genetics. He's just got I don't know if he looks the best though. I still think the 10% guy looks a little better. He looks a little more jacked in my opinion. But yeah, genetics are OP. Why is the jump from 35 to 40 so drastic? You're 35%. Okay, bet. What's your goal? What's your goal and what's your weight? L Charlie. Because this can calculate it for you. I do agree though. No, you're not wrong. The 35 to 40% does seem pretty large. Low key, low key. It seems like the 40% could be bigger. Yes, it seems like the 40% is more like a 45%. But whatever. You're 27%, but you look like that. How do you know you're 27%? Because it's pretty hard to accurately get it tested. That's what I will say. Like unless you're getting a DEXA scan or something like that, it's pretty hard to get it really, really tested. A lot of these ones are legit. Hey, what's up, Rui? Rui. Yeah, Rui, you don't look like you're 14% to me. You look lean. You look like 10%. You drink energy drinks. I do. I've been loving Diet Cokes recently. Zero sugar Diet Cokes. Definitely a cheat code. I mean, that's not really an energy drink though. So, energy drinks, I haven't been having them so recently. Yeah, I haven't been really having too many. I mainly just do coffee and Diet Coke. Your scales, okay, your scale can be way off. I would not, yeah, I would not trust the scale. Um, Black coffee, yep. I look exactly like your photo. How long did it take to fully cut? Took me 5 months. Took me 5 months to lose 30 pounds. Now, it could take longer. I was pretty aggressive towards the end. So I would say realistically, give yourself like 6 months. But if you want, put in your weight and body fat, and I can tell you exactly how long it would take for you according to this graph here. I just started tracking. I've been eating around 1.2. Damn, that's what happens when you start tracking. 1.2, Ryan, you gotta up that up, bro. That's not gonna be enough. If you want to get big, you want to get huge, you gotta like double the amount of calories probably. I don't think I was 30%. Diet Coke bloats you. It might a little bit, but not by a lot. Like sometimes if you have those, artificial sweeteners a little bit, but no, if, it's not that much. Can you see my picture and tell me what body fat? Message me on Instagram. If you have Instagram, hit me up and I can take a look at your physique. and I'll estimate. I'll give you my best guess on where you're at. You're trying to hit 2K. Ryan, are you trying to bulk up? Can you respond to your DM? Did you message me on TikTok? Because I don't look at TikTok DMs very often. I reply to all my Instagram DMs though. Oh yeah, yeah. Hit me up on Instagram because I can't send pictures on TikTok. If you have Instagram, that's the best way to go. Do you have Instagram, Globe? It's Brent.Birdtag on Instagram. Went from 267 to 189 in about 5 weeks. Everybody's loving the Retta. Wow. I've been hearing a lot of hype about Retta True Tide. And you know what? Hey, if it works for you, go for it. But I think it can be totally done naturally. The reason why I wouldn't hop on Retta True Tide, can I take Retta at 15? Yeah, the reason why I wouldn't do it is because one, it costs money, and then you also gotta pin it. It just seems like a little bit of extra work when you could just do it naturally. But if you don't care about spending extra money, not going natural, go for it. But I say just stay natty. Stay natty. It's way better, cheaper. You don't have to rely on it. Can you send the Insta? Yep. So the Insta right here, Brent.Birdtag on IG. Same thing as my TikTok. Reply to all my DMs. Right, we're getting oh whoops. We're getting close, boys. We're getting close to that 10K. That 10K mark. We'll get there. We'll get there. All right, so if you have a question, hit me up there. But you want the food list? Message me. Yeah, just DM me and I can send you my nutrition guide. What would you say my body fat percentage would be? You will. I don't know what you look like, Subsy. Got you, got you. Yeah, if you DM me, I'll check it out right after this. The overnight oats guy. That's my most viewed video. Yeah, the overnight oats. But honestly, I don't even have that anymore. I mainly have Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt. That's the way to go. Greek yogurt bowls with honey. Very, very good snack, I'd say. I'll check it out right after this. What did I use? Google Sheets. Yeah, this is Google Sheets. How do I know how much weight I need to lose to look good? Cokley, did you put this in before? It really depends on your weight and your body fat right now. Chipotle bowl, first high protein meal today, good. Chipotle is fire. Chipotle is definitely one of the best. Is this pre-recorded? No. No, no, it's actually live. What should I do if you're 25% body fat? You're 30. What's your weight right now? Chipotle is pretty optimal. It depends on what you get though. If you're getting sour cream, guac, and cheese, and like that's probably gonna be too much fat, right? Guac is definitely pretty decent. It depends if you're on a cut or not. If you're bulking, go for it. If you're trying to get leaner, then yeah, you probably don't want that much fat. I would go with double chicken and some rice and some veggies. You'll get pretty lean. Yeah, Cokley, DM me on Instagram. I'll check it out. Have you I've been bulking? I would say so. Yeah, I've been sort of lean bulking at the moment, sort of maintaining. I'm not really trying to cut super hard. Might try and cut a couple pounds and then body recomp. That's kind of where I've been trying to stay at. Just get as big as possible and lean at the same time. Because I've already done, enough bulks and stuff. I can really just main gain from here on. And if I need to do if I need to get shredded for some reason, then I could do it. But right now, at the moment, I feel better just main gaining. I got to bench 315 again. 15%. Yeah, no, the 15% dude just has elite genetics. I'm not gonna lie. I'm 19% body fat. I'm 165. Still kind of skinny fat. I eat around 2,500 calories, 200 grams of protein, and I'm 5 feet. Okay. Have you been losing weight from that? Because that sounds pretty good. What are you trying to get to? Let's see here. If you're 19% and you're okay. Let's say you want to get to, like 12. According to this, boom. You would need to you would take you, wait, hold on. That's not right. Yeah, so you would need to get to about 141 if you're 160 at 19% body fat. Or 165. Wait, hold up. Might have to lose even more weight. Let's see. You'd be 147. Not bad at all. So that could take, 23, 16 weeks if you lock in. You think you got it? Yeah, Bryn.Bertag, that's it. I have to accept it though. That's probably why. And then you can send. Let me see. I'm 20, working out 4 days a week, and not losing weight. 1,800 calories. I'm 170. What are you doing right now? What's the goal, Bigfoot? What are you trying to get to? I can estimate it from the pics. I can give you my best guess. Let's see. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it on live. I don't want to leak anything. No, I don't want to leak anything. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it on live. But I will most definitely check it out. Let's see. You want to gain muscle too? Okay, you've been dieting since May, and just now you started losing weight, but very slowly. I feel like you want to gain muscle. Okay, perfect. I mean, yeah, you can do that. You can build muscle while you're in a calorie deficit. But are you getting stronger in the gym, Brown Jesus? You just want to make sure your strength is still going up. If your strength is going down, you're probably cutting too hard. It's confusing trying to bump up calories on a cut. Interesting. You're cutting, but you're trying to bump up the calories. Well, your calories were low. You're on like 1,200. I would just bump it up by 200. I mean, actually, no. No, for you, since you're on such low calories, just go to the TDE calculator and put in your weight and height and follow that. See if you're still going to lose weight with, that higher amount. But it all depends on your weight and height. 170 grams of protein, 10%. Really? You're at 10%? At 170? That's pretty good. That's where I was at. I was 170 pounds. Around there. 31% body fat, 285, 270 calories, okay. Good stuff. Mod, have you been seeing progress from doing that? Also, what body fat would you say you're at, Mod? You said you're 31? Let's say you're trying to get to, let's see. Let's say you're trying to get to 20. Boom. All right. That means if you go for 24 weeks or 18 weeks, you get to 20% at 229. Appreciate the fault, Enzo. I'll accept it right after this. Enzo, what was your message? Is everybody on the cut? Everybody's on the cut because the cut is way harder than the bulk. I'm not gonna lie. Except for Ryan, he needs the bulk. I'm 6'1". You want to know what body fat? Message me on Instagram, and I'll be able to see. I'm 6'1", 21 years old, 180 pounds. I'm going on a slight bulk because I'm skinny fat. How long will it be? Okay, Lamayan. If you had to guess, what body fat do you think you are? Because I'd only say don't do a bulk if you're like 20%. But if you're under 20%, go for a lean bulk. You know, you can definitely grow a lot. If you're over 20%, it wouldn't make sense really. You're gonna have to stop your bulk like pretty early on. But if you're leaner, you can just bulk for a long time. I would recommend that if you're skinny fat. Depends how skinny fat you are. All right, Ryan. Ryan, you gotta. What's your weight and height? Doesn't give you the option to DM. It should be able to. 25% is so fine. What? 25% is fine. I don't know about that. I got you, Nate. Nate, what's your weight and body fat right now? This will tell you how long it takes to get to your goal. 15%. 15% is, yeah, he is elite genetics. So I would say the ultimate goal, if you're aiming to get a six pack, it really starts to show around 15% and under. To 20 and you're 25%. All right, so let's say you're 25% and you're trying to get to 15. Boom. This would take you 32 weeks if you went slow. If you went slightly more aggressive, 21 weeks. The max I would do would be like 1%. If you go more than 1%, the only issue is you could potentially lose, you know, some more muscle that way. So that's why I recommend going sustainable, following this guideline. It's pretty realistic. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Being 187 at 15% body fat, that's pretty solid. What you think you got it though, Nate? You think you can pull it off? Are you doing a cut right now? Are you tracking calories? 130. I got you, Archer. I'll check it out after this. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Keep it up, bro. Keep it going. You just got to stay consistent then. If your cut is working, if it's not working, you might have to make an adjustment there. You might have to switch up your calories or something. Is there a way I could contact you one-on-one? Yes. Message me on Instagram. Bryn.Bertag right here. Check it out right after. 135, 35%. Yash, what's your goal? If you're 35%, what body fat do you want to get to? If you're 35%, that seems inaccurate. At 135, you're probably less than that. Bet. Yeah, I was 250 now, I'm 220. Took me a while to lose body fat. Damn. 30 pounds, yeah. I mean, that's a huge difference. Definitely keep on it, bro. If it's working, it's working. And if you want a nutrition guide with the best foods that's gonna help you get leaner, build more muscle, you can DM me as well. I've got a full nutrition guide breaking down the best high protein options, like for fast food too. Because a lot of people think you don't have to eat fast food. I definitely think you can still eat fast food. Now, like, obviously, you know, the more whole foods you have, the better you're going to feel. The more things like ground beef, eggs, more micronutrients. You're just gonna feel better. But the main thing is the macros, the calorie deficit. You know, that's the most important. But like every now and then, if you get fast food and you order high protein stuff like what this guy was saying earlier, he was talking about having Chipotle. Chipotle, super optimal if you get the right stuff. TJ, you're 145, 5'10". You eat out every day? Alright, but here's the thing. Danielle, what do you eat out? Like how clean is it? Are you eating at McDonald's every day, or is it like is it healthy stuff? Let's see. 145. 15%. The goal is 10. Boom. 18 to 12 weeks. 18 to 12 weeks. That's how long it would take TJ to get to 10%. According to this right here. Let's see. Let's see, you've went from 220 to 185. Should I stay the same? What's your ultimate goal? Because obviously it's working if you're getting leaner. How lean do you want to get? It really depends what body fat you're aiming for. John, you're 235, 11. John, what's your body fat if you had to guess? Do abs count if you don't have it sitting down? I don't know. I'd say it definitely still counts. Hey, as long as you stand up and it's visible, you've got a six-pack. It just has to be visible at some point. But if it's only in elite lighting, like ideally, you gotta have a six-pack just all the time, even in bad lighting, right? What about you, Arta? What was your stats? 30%. Okay, 230. 230, 30%. Boom. Let's see here. Goal, I'll just say like 20. And then, yeah, not too bad. So like, probably 22 weeks. That's what I would follow. 22 weeks. It's more sustainable. You got it. John, are you weightlifting at the moment? Weightlifting, tracking calories, walking, really the main things to get leaner. Nothing at the moment. What's the move? Do you think you got it? Are you planning? Do you have access to a gym? Are you gonna lock in, fully dial in and go for it? Because 22 weeks could go by and you could be there. You know, you could be closer, you know, to your goal. I'd recommend it, right? Because the time is gonna go by no matter what. The time is gonna go by no matter what. Might as well join the gym, start weightlifting as soon as possible, start getting to your goal, start making more progress. That's the way to go. What should I be doing when I hit a plateau? I've plateaued at 185. Okay, you might have to decrease calories or increase your steps. Brady, how many calories are you doing right now? I forget what you said. 2 months? 2 months? 2 months is probably not going to be enough time. Depends how lean you want to get, though. You're probably going to have to go a lot harder. Like, I would say more like 6 months. I will check it out, Arta. Should I go to maintenance or the cutting calories on the TDE? Definitely the cutting calories. If you're still trying to cut, definitely do the cutting calories. But Ryan, are you weightlifting? How come you went down to 1,200? Are you just like never hungry? I would be starving. I mean, I did that. I did 1,300 calories. I felt terrible. That took so much discipline. I did it about 2 weeks, and I did it for a bodybuilding competition. Would not recommend. Got really bad side effects. So that's why I'm not a fan of cutting too aggressively, because you lose some muscle mass if you do that. You get bad sleep. You don't feel good. You feel like a zombie. You want to have high energy, so don't drop your calories down too low. Don't starve. Fasting in the AM and eating one time a day. Interesting, interesting. Okay, if that works for you, go for it. If you want to be more optimal, like when you start weightlifting, ideally you want to have a meal before weightlifting. You're just gonna feel way better. Some people like to work out fasted. I don't know. I don't. The studies have shown like if you eat carbs before and protein, you're gonna have more energy, better pump in the gym. So definitely would recommend eating at least twice a day, before and after the gym. You'll probably have more energy throughout your day, and you'll build more muscle. Currently 1600 and 511 185 exercise every day. Let's go. 1600 calories, that's pretty low though. Yeah, you don't really want to go lower than that. Honestly, you're getting to that limit where it's like you've kind of pushed it pretty hard. You're exercising every day. Do you know how many steps you're getting? You're weightlifting 6 to 7 times a week. 6 to 7 times a week on on 1,200 calories. Holy. What's your height? My height is 6'1". I was 6'1", 200 pounds, and I went to 180 or 170. Appreciate it, bro. John, what do you think? Do you think you're gonna start hitting the gym? I would highly recommend it, man. Because here's the thing, you can lose weight, but if you don't hit the gym, you'll just look like a smaller version of yourself. You'll just look more skinny fat, right? But if you want to have that toned look like a Greek god, you got to be working on the aesthetic muscle groups, right? The chest, upper chest, shoulders, um, abs. Average is around 10K. Let's go. Then that's pretty decent. I mean, you could bump it up to 12K. I think this is what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to do a diet break. How long have you been cutting for, Brady? If you've been cutting for already a long time, your body is, like adapted to that small amount. You already went, okay. Yeah, yeah. It's definitely time to do a diet break. 100%. Because things are only gonna get harder if you go back. So this is what I would do. I would do a day where you no, I would do like a week or two where you bump all the way the calories back up to maintenance. Get readjusted right there, get your metabolism slightly higher. And then after that week or two, you cut down, and I like at 5'11", 185. Let's see. Yeah, so 2,700 calories. I wouldn't immediately bump it up to that amount. You'd probably want to increase it by like 500 or so. Basically making sure your weight stays the same, but you get your maintenance calories higher. And then when you cut down again, you'll be able to cut down on more food. Just like 1,600, that's crazy to maintain that for much longer. Let's see. Appreciate the follow, John. This is the way to go. 5'8", 153. Yeah, 5'8", 153. So Ryan, ideally you would want to get your calories back up to, like 2,000 or so instead of 1,200. But like, damn, that is a low amount. What are you trying to get to, Ryan? How much weight do you need to lose more? 1.8K for the past 3 days. That's probably a lot better. Are you losing weight from doing that? Because it really depends on that amount, and if you're getting stronger as well in the gym. 5'6", 24 years old, 198. You want to be 160. Okay, Mikey, if you had to say what's your body fat right now, like judging by these pictures, where do you think you're at? John, what are you gonna do? Oh, let's go. Appreciate the heart, Brady. I'm curious though, John. Do you have access to a gym? Are you gonna lock in with the weightlifting? Because why would you not go to the gym? Why would you not weightlift? I understand if it's, out of your way, but if you have one nearby, definitely take advantage of it. If not, if you don't have a gym, I would do calisthenics. I would just do bodyweight stuff at home, dumbbells, weighted pull-ups, weighted dips. That is the way to go. The army told you? Interesting. I wonder how they were able to track that. But let's say you're 31%, and you said you were what 190 198. Okay, bet. 198, 31%. Boom, and your goal was, if I said 15, according to this, if you got to like 15% body fat, you'd probably look insane. You'd be 155. 155, and you follow this, you could take within 32 to 24 weeks. Not too bad. Mikey, are you doing a calorie deficit at the moment? Are you weight training and doing a calorie deficit? Because those two things, and moving some more, getting more steps, that will really make a massive difference. All right. Brady said you're gonna bulk from June to now. Yeah, bulk after you get to your goal, wherever that is. Lean bulking is the way. Actually, you want to do a reverse diet, and then lean bulk. This is where people go wrong. They immediately bulk, or they dirty bulk too much right after the cut. You put on too much fat. The way you can get lean and sustain it is reverse dieting. Reverse dieting is where you bump up your calories slowly over time, and you're actually still in a deficit. What happened to me is, and what happens to most people, is you actually get leaner. You get leaner while raising your calories because you're still in a deficit. And if you're weightlifting too, you're boosting your metabolism. It's the way to go right after a cut. Perfect plan. Yep. How much does your coaching cost? I've got multiple different options. It really depends on what you're looking for and how long. So if you're interested, PR, just click the application in my bio, and I'll reach out to you. I'll figure out, what works best. Or, just hit me up on Instagram. But you got to be serious about it. Are you serious about getting in the best shape possible? Because that's what it's about. You got to be fully committed and want to change. You hit a 160 protein goal with almost 600 calories left. That sounds pretty good. I would go probably higher in protein. Like at the very least, 0.8 grams, right? 198 times 0.8. Yeah, so 160 is like the lowest. But if you notice you're getting hungrier, bumping up the protein intake will definitely help for sure. How long would it take to lose 40 pounds? What do you recommend? Black, what's your weight and height, or what's your weight and body fat? This would tell you. But definitely, like, tracking calories in MyFitnessPal, walking, weightlifting, those are the main three things you need. Like, that's the basic three things. Cardio, it's like optional. Like cardio can help 100%. I recommend doing that too because you become more athletic. But like plenty of people lose weight with just walking nutrition. You can't out train a bad diet. So like nutrition will be oh, and sleeping too. Sleeping 8 hours. That's super underrated. A lot of people forget about the sleep. I definitely did my first couple years of lifting, and then I realized how important sleep is. MyFitnessPal do 1 hour. Damn, 1 hour is insane. That is crazy. Mikey, how many calories are you doing right now? That is crazy. For me, the most I did was 30 minutes on the incline treadmill. But I definitely, yeah, if you like doing cardio, it's definitely good to use because you can eat more that way. You can eat more while being in a deeper deficit. The thing where people go wrong is they start running a lot. You know, if you start running marathons or if that's what you enjoy, go for it. But for fat loss, won't be the best. It's a lot of impact on your body if you're running a whole bunch of marathons. Now, if you're running and you're managing your recovery, you're still getting stronger in the gym, totally works. But the Stairmaster incline treadmill, they're just a little less impact. They're easier to recover from. Walking it's like the least impactful on your body. MyFitnessPal says 2,000, but I'm left with 460. All right, so you're having about like 16, 1,800. Damn, that's not gonna be much. Or you're having like 1,640. That's barely anything. Mikey, are you weightlifting? So my only concern would be if you're weightlifting and you're getting weaker in the gym, and the problem is there, you're just not gonna be building much muscle if your calories are too low. You'll definitely drop weight quickly, but weight and fat are different. Monday through Saturday, okay. Are you progressively overloading? Are you getting stronger in the gym? That's the way to lose fat, right? If you want to lose fat, you weightlift, you track the calories, you try and get strong. At the very least, you want to maintain your strength. It's totally common to get a little weaker, especially on things like bench press. That's pretty like on those compound lifts, it's definitely pretty easy to lose strength. But on your isolation exercises, you should be like keeping your strength for the most part. If you're losing too much, like those gains, bro, can lose it. Otherwise, like everybody would just, do an aggressive cut. Just hitting abs and spamming hanging leg raises. That's top tier. I mean, hanging leg raises are definitely one of the best for abs, but you gotta abs are built in the kitchen, right? They're revealed in the kitchen, built in the gym. I struggle with 185. Now I'm 205, about 4 reps. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Awesome. Well, it sounds like it's working then. It sounds like you're not having an issue there. As long as you're sleeping and recovering properly, that's the main thing. And people, when you're starting out, when you have a higher body fat percentage, it's definitely okay. You can definitely go more aggressive. But as you get leaner, you got to be more careful with dropping weight too quickly and stuff like that. 4 reps at 225. Let's go. Now you got to hit 315. I can't see it right now, Arta. I'll check it out right after this. I'm incline walking, treadmill, post lifting for fat loss. Been doing 20 minutes. Okay, that's ideal for sure. That's what I typically recommend. Are you tracking calories too, Joseph? What body fat are you at right now? Right now, if I had to say, probably around 15% or so. 15, 16, if I had to say. Ideally, if I get back to like 14, 12, and then just get stronger, that's what I'm trying to do. If my goal is 160 body weight, I don't see myself every day doing 350. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you could get there. You could get there if you wanted to. But while cutting, that's very hard. So I would cut first, and then after you get to 160, you can either maintain where you're at or do a lean bulk, and then can hit that 315 maybe one day. But it depends what you're going for, right? If you're a power lifter, it's really important. If you just care about aesthetics, you don't need to bench. But I personally just love benching. I feel like it builds, a pretty good foundation of your physique, hitting chest, shoulders, triceps. If you're really just into bodybuilding, you don't care about your strength at all, then you could do incline bench. But I think it gets boring. I like to have fun. I have more fun doing some compound lifts right there, here and there. 2,255 calories, 200 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbs, 55 grams of fat. Okay. What weight are you right now, Joseph? That sounds pretty good, though. That sounds pretty good if you're losing weight. If you're not losing weight, you're going to need to, make an adjustment. I didn't know 15% was that shredded. This guy just has good genetics, to be honest. Interesting. That does seem a bit low. Joseph, are you getting stronger in the gym? PPL is better for aesthetic physique? I would say so. Push-pull legs is one of the best, but it depends on how you do it, right? Push-pull legs, you just want to make sure you gotta adjust it. So like, let's say you have really small shoulders, then you definitely need to be focusing more on, shoulder press, lateral raises, and I would do triceps after. But if like, chest is your weakest muscle group, then start with chest. So you can adjust it on your muscle groups and stuff like that. Don't you think it's a bit misleading? I mean, if you zoom in though, if you zoom in, you can see, even though this guy has a really good six pack, you can see he has more body fat than this guy. So it works. He just looks leaner because he is, But have you ever tried that David Late split? The David Late split was 3 days on, one day off, right? Me personally, I like 5 days right now. I've done 6 days in the past, but I like having the extra day to recover. And I like doing boxing as well. So that's what I'm doing currently. But like, yeah, I would say 5 days, maybe six, will get you the best results. But 3 days, you can still make plenty of progress. What's going on, Flame Boss? 5'8", 162. How do I know if I'm skinny fat or actually fat? If you just look at these pictures and you give it your best guess, estimating on what your body fat is, that's one way to tell. It's not perfect. But yeah, I would look at that. I would try and see, just judging from those pictures. It's not going to be perfect, but it's one way to test it. Zachary Smith. Zach, you said you want to wrestle? Why do you want to wrestle, bro? That's crazy. 6 foot, 170, 18% body fat. What should I do? Okay. According to this, at 170, let's say you're trying to get to like 12%. Boom. Alright, so you would get there within 21 to 14 weeks. But Dex Gamer, the main thing you need to do is the calorie surplus. I mean calorie deficit, right? If you track your calories in your weight training, that will definitely help you lose weight the most. Are you doing that at the moment? Are you tracking calories? What's the best supplements we can use on the calorie deficit? Ooh, I would say creatine. Creatine is just good for strength. Um, Magnesium glycinate. That's good for sleep, calming yourself down. Good for muscle recovery. Vitamin D, good for testosterone if you don't get much sunlight. Besides that, I would take fish oil if you don't have enough fish oil in your diet. Um, those are the main ones. The thing is, I try and get a lot of the vitamins from food, so I don't have to take the supplement. But most people are deficient with like magnesium, so that and creatine probably they're going to be the best ones, I'd say. Oh, and vitamin D. If you just had to choose, yeah, those are my top three. Arta, how lean are you trying to get? Like, what's your goal? Will I lose a lot of muscle if I cut and lower my weight, or should I leave the same weight and train? No. If you cut weight slowly over time, you're not going to lose too much muscle. And as long as you're getting stronger in the gym, you'll be chilling. My goal is 160. Um, let's see. 5 milligrams yohimbine. Now, I've heard good things about yohimbine. I've never tried it personally. Because I don't really do fasted cardio. I like to do cardio right after the gym. Um, but yeah, if you do that and you notice you're like sweating more, that's mainly what it does, right? It just makes you sweat more. Maybe makes you burn a bit more calories, but it's like it's such a tiny difference, I feel like. The main thing is actually just doing the cardio, hitting the calorie deficit, weight training, all that. Okay, I'll check it out 100%. Let's see where you're at. And if any of you guys want this guide, you want a nutrition guide, or you just want to drop 30 pounds, get absolutely lean, build muscle in 90 days or 6 months, apply for coaching. First link in the application. If you have a question, message me on Instagram. Peace, boys. Appreciate the support. Let's go.